President Trump marked the first 100 days in office of his second term tonight with a speech in Macomb County, Michigan, outside Detroit. He hit on the highlights of his second term so far, including mass deportation operations, efforts to shrink the size and scope of government, and the changes he's making to the global trade landscape. Those endeavors have not gone unopposed, prompting scores of lawsuits filed by ousted government employees, migrants fighting their deportation, and business owners who argue the president's tariffs are unlawful. Well, one person who's had a front row seat at the daily happenings is Scripps News Group's White House correspondent Haley Bull, who joins us tonight from the nation's capital. Hey, Haley, thanks so much for joining me. We're going to start with the positives. What areas do you see in the first 100 days that President Trump has delivered upon?
Well, when we look at what the White House is viewing as their accomplishments, Tim, they are really touting the speed at which they have been able to move on the president's agenda, framing it as what they call promises made and promises kept. And we have seen them act on really a sweeping agenda, from more stringent border policies, an effort to pursue mass deportations, a really significant trade and tariff policy, as well as efforts to slim down the federal workforce. And in their eyes, they have been successful on this front. But at the same time, the president has faced headwinds when it comes to his approval ratings and consumer confidence. And when we look at those recent polling, that recent data, it breaks down along party lines. But we are seeing him perform better when it comes to the border and immigration policies in particular, say, compared to economic issues. That was an issue. The border immigration, that was really a driving factor for him in his election. We have seen him act on things like seeking to revert to his first administration's immigration policies, attempting to end birthright citizenship, to declare cartels and gangs as foreign terrorist organizations and deport members to third-party countries, to send the military to the border to help with that, to name a few of those really sweeping policies. Of course, some of those have been legally challenged, but the administration is really honing in on that this week as they mark 100 days of his second non-consecutive term in office, Tim.
Yeah, and with those polling numbers being lower than normal, obviously, according to some of the people who've been polled, he's fallen short in some areas. You mentioned some of the struggles he's had, but what else stands out among some of those setbacks or areas that need improvement?
Well, one area that has been really key for President Trump is when it comes to the economy. It was one of the top issues voter after voter we spoke with on the campaign trail pointed to in their election decision, and it is certainly a driving factor for this administration. And in our conversations with officials here, they recognize that there is more work to do, but they are really touting progress in what they view as success, pointing to things like job creation, lower prices, particularly on energy and oil in particular, as well as investments that they have seen since Trump took office. But in the backdrop of all of this is, of course, the sweeping trade agenda that has been rolled out that has included a universal tariff, reciprocal tariff rates paused for many countries, though still continuing for China, and sector-specific rates. And at times, this policy has really roiled the markets and created unease for some consumers and economists who have raised concerns about inflationary impacts. But the administration seems to be taking a long-term view that this will eventually drive up revenue and production. And we have seen President Trump, including tonight, dismiss polling, critical polling in particular, on this front. And so that is something we are carefully watching as the administration is engaging with a number of countries and trying to hash out those reciprocal rates and offering some tweaks to some policies, automobiles in particular, today, offering some reprieve as they continue those discussions on that front, Tim.
Yeah, and he has talked about a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine being imminent. So according to your sources, how accurate is that and how close could that be?
That is certainly the big question on everyone's mind. The administration has been engaging with both Ukraine and Russia. And we are told from folks here that they feel that they are as close as they have been. An official telling us that the last few miles are going to be up to them, referring to Russia and Ukraine. But certainly we have seen Trump take a different stance to trying to end this war, opening up a dialogue with Russia, at times drawing criticism for a softer tone towards Putin. The State Department earlier today saying that they are at a time when, quote, concrete proposals need to be delivered by the two parties on how to end this conflict. And it's been clear from the folks we have talked with, Tim, that there is a sense of frustration from President Trump that this hasn't been ended, directed towards both Ukraine and Russia. That is something he had promised on the campaign trail to end before day one. But certainly that effort is still continuing with that deal yet to be fully realized.
All right. Well, thanks, Haley, and good luck in the next 100 days and beyond as well.